From Casu Marzu cheese to mustard oil, here are 10 foods that are banned in the world. The Scots are proud of their cuisine, and some of their specialties are very popular, such as shortbread, oat-based desserts, and of course, haggis, the famous stuffed sheep stomach. Those who keep with tradition always want to see a good haggis on their table during the holiday season, for example. However, it takes some effort to prepare it, and some necessary ingredients such as tallow, spices, oats, and offal, such as liver, heart, and lungs are required. To prepare haggis, the Scots use all these ingredients as they should. In this way, they manage to preserve the traditional recipe of this very popular dish. However, because of this ancestral recipe, the Scots cannot see their haggis sold elsewhere, especially in the United States, where this dish has been banned from the shelves since 1971. The reason? Sheep's lungs. However, if their traditional haggis is banned in the United States, the Scots can still console themselves by seeing that it can be eaten elsewhere, which makes them even prouder of this emblematic dish. Cheese lovers. There are many, even connoisseurs, who always want to try new tastes and are always looking for new and unusual flavors. But sometimes they can come across very strange cheeses like Casu Marzu, an Italian cheese from Sardinia, which is made from sheep's milk and contains fly larvae. These larvae actually act on the cheese by breaking down the fatty acids and enhancing the fermentation process. However, despite the repulsive aspect of Casu Marzu, cheese lovers do not hesitate to try to get this product to taste it, whatever the cost. If they manage to find and eat it, they run the risk of getting very sick afterwards, because of the larvae, of course. Indeed, Casu Marzu is considered a toxic food and harmful to health, and even as the most dangerous cheese in the world. They even keep the taste on their palate for a long time. Singaporeans are known to be law-abiding people who keep order and cleanliness and never want to break the rules imposed on them. But for many years now, people in the city-state have been faced with a rather unusual law, the ban on chewing gum. That's right, chewing gum has been banned in Singapore since 1992. It is said that the reason for this ban is an incident that happened in the Singapore subway when the doors of the subway were blocked because of a chewing gum that was stuck in the opening mechanism. This is a good reason not to chew gum, but that doesn't stop Singaporeans, at least the most daring among them, from chewing gum if they find it, and from experiencing a few moments of pure pleasure. However, these little moments of chewing risk to turn into a real nightmare if they are caught, because they will have to pay a good fine of 1,000 euros and even do community service if necessary. What might console them, however, is that they will always have the opportunity to chew as much gum as they want if they are elsewhere, and even if they are lucky enough to be prescribed this precious product by a dentist, something that has been permitted since 2004. But it must be said that after all, the majority of Singaporeans have already got used to not chewing gum, so much so that they no longer feel deprived. You know that there are different types of milk, such as sterilized milk, pasteurized milk, powdered milk, or raw milk. Not long ago, you wanted to know more about raw milk, which is used in the production of many cheeses. But, to your great surprise, you discovered that raw milk is a banned product in some countries, such as the United States, Canada, Scotland, and Australia. This led you to do some research to find out the reason for this ban. And there, you discovered that raw milk is banned for the simple reason that it may contain bacteria that are not killed by heat, as is the case with pasteurized or sterilized milk. These bacteria can cause illness in the person who consumes raw milk. Obviously, this information shocked you a little because you often drink raw milk when you went to the farm. Luckily, you never suffered from the bacteria in it. However, since you learned about the new raw milk ban, you have become much more cautious about milk and dairy products. Many people are used to working or studying at night, and for that, some of them always need to consume some energy drink like the famous Mountain Dew, a caffeinated soda with a citrus taste. Although it is strongly discouraged, these people do not hesitate to consume it. In this way, they manage to have the energy they need to work. On the other hand, their health may pay the price, because this drink contains brominated vegetable oil, or BVO. If you don't know what that means, it's a food additive that could be toxic. That's what has many people worried. But fortunately, to avoid any risk, this component and consequently this drink have been banned in some countries like Japan and European countries. On the other hand, the producer of this drink could well remove BVO from the list of components of its products, which has not prevented many consumers from becoming already very vigilant about energy drinks. There are large consumers of foie gras around the world. These people not only eat it on special occasions such as Christmas, but they always want to put it on their bread at any time. However, these people might be disappointed to learn that this delicacy is banned in a number of countries such as India, the United Kingdom, Australia, Denmark, and some states in the United States. The reason? A mobilization of animal defenders who denounced the practice of force feeding. Thus, it is now forbidden to produce foie gras, to market it, and even to serve it in these regions, and this may very well extend to other countries. To avoid this problem, some foie gras lovers are now turning to other types of livers that are naturally developed by geese living in the wild. This way, they can be sure that they will always be able to eat foie gras, but for this, they have to pay a very high price because this type of foie gras is expensive and then its annual production is very limited. But at least it remains a good alternative for these people, some of whom have become much more interested in a natural foie gras obtained without force feeding. Well thought. Everyone knows that Americans are big meat eaters. Whether at home or in fast food restaurants, they always want to eat quality meat, both nutritionally and in terms of taste. Naturally. But for the past few years, one question has been on Americans' minds. Why is horse meat banned? Because yes, horse meat is banned in the United States. To try to find an answer, many Americans have looked into the question and have conducted research that has allowed them to find the different reasons behind this ban. Indeed, horse meat is banned from the shelves, firstly because the horse is considered a good domestic animal, but also because its meat is less nutritious than beef. In addition, it can be toxic because of the medical or chemical substances it may contain if the animal is injected, for example. Finally, the horse has a certain spiritual value. This is all very interesting. Yes, but all this information has only made Americans more concerned about what they eat, especially after scandals broke out about the fraudulent use of horse meat in burgers and ready meals. What if the meat they were eating was also from horseback? Fortunately, all these questions were later dismissed with a wave of the hand because there is no evidence that this meat exists on the shelves or in fast food restaurants in the United States. The Americans have become very strict about the origin of the meat they consume. Do you like mustard so much so that you put it all over your dish before eating? Then you're not the only one. In fact, you like its special flavor and spiciness so much that you've been wanting to buy mustard oil to season your salads lately. But to your surprise, you learned that mustard oil is a prohibited product that you will never find in supermarkets. In fact, the use of mustard oil in cooking was banned in 2016 by the Food and Drug Administration due to its high erucic acid content, which can cause heart disease if consumed in high doses. That said, you opted for a different oil and were even able to improve the taste of your salad with it. On the other hand, you were a little disappointed by the lack of that nice tangy mustard flavor you were looking for so much. But at least you were sure you could consume an oil that wasn't harmful to your health. And then, you can always use mustard oil for cosmetic purposes because at that level, it is safe, if used correctly, of course. So there you have it, some good information that has enriched your knowledge about your favorite condiment. Imagine you are in a fish restaurant in the United States and you want to try a shark fin soup, an Asian dish you have never tried before. Although this dish is on the menu, the waiter tells you that it is no longer served in this restaurant, which prompts you to ask him why. The waiter then satisfies your curiosity by answering that shark fins are simply forbidden. Indeed, the practice of removing a shark's dorsal fin is considered illegal, as without this essential limb, sharks are unable to survive for long periods of time at sea. This information is of course very shocking and distressing to you, but at least you're relieved to know that this practice is increasingly banned around the world these days. Better yet, you are more than ever determined to help the associations and organizations that fight against this illegal practice in order to put it to an end. You are one of those gourmets who have a weakness for the most delicate dishes, and for some time now, you have been waiting to taste Beluga Caviar, the most expensive caviar in the world. However, you know that it will be difficult, if not impossible to find it, because this product is in turn part of the prohibited products, especially in the United States. Indeed, the huso, also called beluga or great sturgeon, is a species of sturgeon seriously threatened, hence the ban on its eggs. Imagine, however, that you decide to go to the black market where you are sure to find some. Sure, you'll come across those nice, big, soft eggs with a very smooth texture and unmistakable flavor, but you'll have to pay a high price for it, not to mention the risk you might run by buying an illegal product. You might even regret it very much. But fortunately, all this is just an imagination, and you will recover by telling yourself that if you don't have beluga caviar, you can always taste other caviars as delicate as this product. And that's it. Your mouth is watering. You have just discovered some foods that are prohibited in some countries. Do you know of any other food products that are also prohibited and are not on this list? Leave us your answers in the comments, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Did you like this video? Then don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications and not miss anything from our next publications.